Yeah. In the morning when I wake up, in the night when I wake up, I will lift up my voice to heaven and give you the highest praise. Hallelujah to my King. Hallelujah to my Father. Hallelujah to my Jesus. I bow before the throne. When I look at all the wonder and I see all the creation, the beauty of the universe, you never change. You never lie. You never change. You never fail. Hallelujah to my Jesus. Hallelujah. 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 Hallelujah.
Il a fait une chanson à Mobley Production. Voilà. Et Mobley Production, c'est une structure qui est créée pour les jeunes qui sont dans le Guémon, pour les jeunes de l'US tout. Mobley Production est là pour produire les jeunes talentueux, cachés, que les gens ignorent. Donc notre devoir, c'est de produire des talents cachés. Alors, il a fait un son pour Mobley Production.
Arrangé Eric Glodé, le don de Dieu pour la musique de l'Ouest. Je te détesterai jamais. Jamais, au grand jamais. Mobley Production, Abia Dia Oboa, Amunyadro, Mweto Pierre. Moye, Pierre, Moye, Pierre, Moye, Ato Pierre Dia Vele, Pierre, Moye, Ah, Pierre, Ndato Pierre, Soprano Seide, Ato Pierre Dia Vele, Akosia, Moye, Pierre, Moye, Mosabo Saiko, Moye, Pierre Jimo Vere, Manoyemo, Ah, Pierre Jimo Vere, Manoyemo, Pierre, Ah, Dia Vere, Pierre, Moye, Pierre, Moye, Pierre Dia Vere, La Poye Dia Vere, Soy no Juniemble, Mobley Amado, let's appeler. Jamone Chipayone, Mawaja Chipayone, Ja, Plebonena Kanyopo, Siavutiena, de Kanywe, Kanyon de Koga, Sepadea, Pierre Moye, Pierre Moye, Pierre Moye, Modiarwa, Oyawesa, Moye, Jiblo, no Pigeon Boba, Yerbono, Maboye, Pierre Moye, Mobley Production. Pierre Mobley Production. À ça au clan, Yahweh a quel amour le côté. Pierre Moye, Pierre Moye, Ericona, Pierre Moye, Ah, Charlie Kona, Pierre Moye, Ah, Pierre Moye. Ah, Moye, Erigo Jato Piero, Marebo Mujato Piero, Erigo de Mujato Piero, Miomo Daka, Jojaniko, Yopa, Opa, Yede Nani, Blake Chiao, Anade Bro Aja de Hatia, Nuruba de Kiabudia, Ono ne Kadouble, Sobo Somo Soble So Dagnon, Passeble a Seigneur Nayeta Esa Yedibo Sanele, To Piero Jaweke, To Piero Point Soweke, To Piero Yubamopa, Kayano e Casene la Tayamo, la Oceane, To Piero, Gia Baide, Papaco, Gia, To Piero Moye. Ah, nous avons moins. Vive au plan, moins. Nous avons moins. Pierre, nous avons moins. Pierre, 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 Kayo Padewe, Nemo Kango. Ah, Mara DJ Meo. Ao. Buba Kari de Pinito Wake. Asa o Made. Sharon for Moye. Yaro Moye. I said Sonia Boutier. I said.
Sort of the Liberia Public Radio and LP Arrow. Thank you for being accompanying this event on this important day. Welcome. Stay tuned and we'll get this program going very shortly.
All right.
Good evening, folks. I'm Alfonso Z and Sort of the Liberia Public Radio and LP Arrow TV. We want to welcome
Okay. Let's get this out of the way here. I want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. This is the Liberia Public Radio. That's the last and final segment in today's edition. So the opposition doubling down. Democracy is at the crossroad. Who is kicking the can down the road? And let's see what we're going to have a conversation here. The Liberal Progressive of the Liberia Public Radio, there's Samson Branto, aka Liberty Partisan base in the US. Let's see how he's going to handle this one here this evening. Let's get this one rolling. Okay, good. Let's get this one rolling here live here also on our metrics feed. Welcome. That's the last and final segment of today. Let's get the ball off. Okay, happening in Liberia, the victims is becoming the victors and the victors becoming the victims. Uncertainty, chaos in a group believes to be the alternative of Liberia. CPP. Hell is breaking loose. Who is playing deceit in the game of politics in Liberia? And why is it happening? The stickman, the labyrinth, names calling, and it's been picked up. They are picking up from their leaders. What are we hearing as a people, as a nation? Who is keeping the conversation proportional? The future of Liberia is on edge. Greedy, deceitful, dishonest, lack of political instructions, lack of political tolerance. Our country is heading in a wrong direction. Let me bring in the Liberal Progressive of the Liberia Public Radio, member of the Liberty Party USA. That's his code name. My dear friend.
Good evening, Mr. Soul. Thank you for having us on again tonight. And it was a wonderful, revealing, to be honest with you, revealing conversation with the ULAT folks. And but it was
I'm not here for ULA business. Let me just stop you right there. You're not going to serve as a distraction here. I am mad. I am unhappy with these politicians, these folks. Look at them. Look at them. The sidelining, the pushing away of this guy on the far left facing my screen is started. What is this guy right hand doing in his pocket? The Liberal Progressive. Good evening and welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Soul. And let's have the conversation. Hopefully, we'll be joined here very shortly.
Okay. So during the week, you get a saying that saying somebody can put their foot in their mouth, and usually the group that you live at. So let me just ask you strictly upfront: who put their foot in their throat during the week?
Well, I don't know about putting foot anywhere. What I do know is that what I've been reading, if these things are factual, the news coming from Liberia, if these things are factual, then I think we need to have a serious conversation among us and to see exactly which way we're heading. And I think someone said correctly, only like-minded people should be involved in these kinds of collaboration or political marriages. You can't bring somebody who is not of the same character who is not of the same thinking as Mr. Nyaran correctly stated the other day, and say you want to make that into some sort of a durable marriage, you are in a crisis mode from the beginning. And I think this is what we've seen now. At first, I thought this was just something that perhaps were bound to happen. In other words, taking all the cleavages among the folding of whatever cloth that they were on. So they decided they were going to iron out things. However, in the process of this iron out thing, it seemed to me that the iron electricity has gone out, and the iron is now getting cold. As a result, these cleavages are now turning into some sort of a ripple. I mean, I forget ripple. Let's just say wave, and it's going to be impactful to our group, because I am part of Liberty Party USA. Don't forget, I have not been kicked out yet. So, but the point here, Mr. So, this is just sad to have this, because this is just from let me just say it from out front. What has happened is ridiculous on its face.
What has happened? Tell us. Come clean here.
Well, according to the story
here, what has happened?
Well, you had interview here the other day with Honorable Cummings, who was, I mean, he was just, admirable. I mean, I admire him, to be honest with you. I want my preference in this collaborating political party. My preference, in order to someone to lead this CPP, I was hoping that it would be Honorable Dr. Joseph Boakai. However, when Cummings came up, and he didn't hide it, he didn't hide his feeling, he didn't hide anything that he would prefer to be at the standard bearer. Now, when these people came together, my understanding, they came together at the end of the day, and I think you and I have that conversation here the last time, or this Friday or so, or Saturday, whatever time it was. But I told you that the whole process, once that process of collaboration, whatever it is, at the end point, they will select a leader, and that leader will give them, give you, the president, whoever in Liberia, their platform. Now, Mr. Cummings is member of the collaborating political party. Mr. Cummings is a political leader of his party. Dr. Boakai is a political leader of his party. Madam Kanka is a political leader of her party. Mr. So, hold on 1 minute. 1 minute. So let me land, please.
You're trying to denounce your man called Dr. Boakai. You're trying to distance yourself.
No. Far from it. But let me go ahead. Let me make my point. Then you can come in with your question. So all of these people, including Honorable Bernard Ure, he's also a political leader of his party. Cummings came out here and told every one of us, especially people like me who's been singing the song, Cummings should go second. Cummings should go second. Dr. Boakai should go at the head, and Cummings should go second. And Cummings came out and told us what the process you guys are beating drum on, and I'm paraphrasing here, it's not the right way to go, because we came into this position. Every one of us are vying for the standard bearership of this CPP. So for people, we haven't even started the game yet, and now you're telling me that I shouldn't even get on the field to play. Let me play, and if you don't like my playing, you can sub me, so to speak. And so he urged all of us to say, wait for the time. If you like Dr. Boakai, you vote for Dr. Boakai, because the CPP, Collaborating Political Party framework, allows for that. This is where you're going to have to select your standard bearer. This is ridiculous what Unity Party did this weekend. It was shameless. It was shameful, let me say that. Very, very shameful to do this. And I don't believe Dr. Boakai should be ahead of this kinds of shameful behavior, to be honest with you. Because to say this young man who is also fighting to be the standard bearer of the CPP, you're going to invite him Why your Unity Party crown you to be the standard bearer of CPP? If his invitation by you inviting, if Kumi have gone there, Kumi have quite requiesced to this, and you would have accepted Dr. Baka to be the standard bearer. And this is not what I talk about. As Kumi told us, we should all have the freedom to choose. But if you're going to say we want to crown this man, Unity Party, what you know, Dr. Baka is a political leader. Why are you endorsing him to do what? You're endorsing him to be the standard bearer of CPP. So be it. But why even invite Cummings? Why try to make a scene out of it? This is ridiculous. If you want to do it, go do it in the backyard. Don't bring it in public and contact. The man will crown him to be standard bearer. In as much as I would like for this man to be the standard bearer, not like this. This is ridiculous to the most.
Well, you seems to be very a little bit. This is not a liberal that I know. Let's listen to this. Is he sleeping?
Good afternoon, gentlemen of the press. Lady. At this table, you see around 4 political leaders from the CPP. Former Vice President Jason Rebecca, Mr. Ben Ayue, and Senator Lawrence. I know some of you have followed the outcome of our meeting from Belacasa. Just want to interview. There have been issues in the media that we need to address as leaders of the CPP. And there are also issues that are reported today that we need to inform our partisans and prepare about. At the Belacasa meeting, there was a large meeting held of the 4 political leaders to discuss some issues about the CPP, but the key issue that is being in the discussion of the press and with our.
Let's get the conversation rolling. Okay, the liberal.
Yes.
Belacasa meetings. Political leaders were called around that table. One is missing in action. We don't know, the name wasn't called, a tone of political correctness. These are the political leaders so far we know from the 4 major political parties under this opposition wings, CPP collaboration. Yeah, but I saw moderator of the Unity Party. This is a collaboration document. And by the way, news just coming in here. The Secretary General of the Opposition's Alternative National Congress, Councillor Aloysius Toh, will be appearing here on the Liberia Public Radio. And for what we are hearing so far, they're going to be a major information. Hopefully, will be revealed. That's Councillor Aloysius Toh of the Alternative National Congress of Alexander Cummings will be appearing here Wednesday. Wednesday. That will be about 1:00 p.m. 1:00 p.m. will be 7 o'clock, right? Is that 2 o'clock? I have to double check the time here. But he will be appearing here 7 o'clock local time in Liberia. He's going to be joining us right here. Look, liberal, this is not a liberal that I know from time to time who is so much energized. But this one here, it looks like a sour lime is being placed between your two. So let's have a conversation here. Do you think, seeing what we're seeing, hearing what we're hearing now, the fate of this collaboration, what does it lie?
No, the fate of the collaboration squarely lies in the hands of Honorable Cummings. And Honorable Cummings told us here the other day that come high water, whatever it is, the CPP will survive and will continue to go on. But what I think is happening right now is that they are playing mongering with democracy. This is, and these are people, Mr. So I'm not going to bite my tongue here this evening. I'm not going to, sit there and let these kinds of things happen. And I say, yes, while I do support, strongly support Honorable Barker to be the standard bearer. But these kinds of behavior, they are moderate to democracy. You have young people that are looking up to these people. First thing is this, if my understanding, why they come and walk out? Because he felt they were not playing by the rules. And before they came together, these are all intelligent, intellectual, highly educated. None of them over there come from Total. They're highly educated. So they came together and put the framework together. How this CPP
talking about the framework here. Talking about the framework here versus the document of the framework. And
yes,
I've said this over and over. Samson Toe and others refused on purpose to listen. That this document, as far as I'm concerned, it was inconclusive.
Mr. So you can't say that.
It is. I'm not saying it to your taste to satisfy you. I am not here to incite or plunge in political correctness. Your man, his chairman, it was a time for his chairmanship. Yeah, why he could not take that? Part of that. Oh no, listen. Part of that is because the work, this document called framework they put together, it was adopted. It needs to be followed to the letter. If there's any alteration, they need to come back. First and foremost, these people from different political ideologies, there's no way that anything to resembles their political principles for which they were coming together. And I said that over and over. They did not calculatively sit down together in as much they wanted to unseat the CDC government. I felt there should have been a lengthy and a technical conversation. And I'm glad that Aloysius Toe, who happens to be the Secretary General of the Alternative National Congress, will reach it. By the way, to make it fair and balanced, we did speak with Senator Nyombi Kangat Lawrence, and they're going to get to us exactly. But like she alluded in that conversation, a lot is ongoing. So this document here, from what I see in my understanding, is right now is on life support. We do not know the game plan by ANC. We do not know. Hopefully, Alexander Cummings, not Cummings, Aloysius Toe going to let us know. Additionally, for the meeting, this is what we attain. The collaborations. This is the agenda, and it was not even properly disseminated. It was inconclusive. For God's sake, let's put it into context here. I know you are losing patience because you are in a losing battle here this evening as usual. Before LPRO, as a small institution, before we even have a meeting, we share notes, we share the agenda. The agenda will be it will be reviewed, it will be accepted, and then it put on the table. That wasn't the case.
Mr. So, if you're going to try to compare the CPP, please don't compare CPP with that of the LPR. Compare CPP with the United Nations, not even the United States. CPP is above that. So I'm just letting you know right away. But Mr. So, on a very serious note, your point is well taken. And this afternoon, you had a wonderful conversation with folks who are considered to be leaders, future leader of Liberia, EULA organization. Because of their inept behavior, the way they practice leadership here, they transfer that back to Liberia, and this is what we have. These people, they collaborate in political party. You have documents over there. That document was not written in isolation. The document was written, was disseminated for those who have to make comments and adjustment and red line, whatever. They ordered that. And then that document was adapted to say this is a document we want to run on as a collaborating political party. And one of the framework in that, one of the comment in that is chairmanship should be rotational. And now my understanding, Dr. Baka is refusing to accept that. I don't know how true that is.
Have you called your man, that guy? Have you talked to him?
I'm not about ready to get myself in all work out with that kinds of stuff. The point here is this. Dr. Baka is supposed to be the unifier. among all of us like you. He said, Mr. So, let me finish my statement. I will not let you, and I will not allow you to bamboozle me into accepting any kinds of proposal or whatever it is that you're trying to achieve here tonight. I am my own, and I will speak my mind. So, Dr. Bakai, supposed to be the unifier. Dr. Bakai, he's like the father and grandfather for all of us. And that's why some of us are gravitating towards him. Despite all of the ills and what have you, people are being enumerated all over the newspaper, the social media, and what have you. Yes, still we here support Dr. Bakai, because I truly believe that he will be able to bring us together, stir this ship, so that people will come and control it later. But the way things are going, it seems to me, he hasn't even been, and he hasn't even accepted the nomination yet. He already putting in a bubble. And this is a man that I'm saying to myself, Comey should be vice president honor, because I believe if Comey accept vice presidential position, they will lock him up, not physically, but they will make sure he doesn't have access to Dr. Bakai. And Comey is not going to sit down here and become your car parking in the garage. It's not going to happen. So what I'm suggesting, what I'm saying, these people, if they want the framework, if they want this thing to happen, so that we will successfully defeat CDC as we all hoping and know that will happen. But with this kinds of thing that is happening, it is unacceptable, Mr. So. You can't have what basically they're asking Comey to do is for Comey to come so that Comey will dethrone himself. When's the last time you saw somebody to come into a party that having to do with his own defeat? What kinds of nonsense is that?
What kind of nonsense is that? Who is making that nonsense? The Liberal.
The Unity Party and his people and his collaborators. All of those people that the process itself is flawed. You want to do Unity Party, you have the right to say who's going to be your standard bearer. But I think it's clear to everybody that are involved in the political party.
Mr. George, hold on 1 second on the Liberal. Mr. George, check your email. Let's see. I did it first. I don't know why it didn't something, but I check your mail. Okay, go ahead, Mr. Liberal.
No, the point that I'm making is this: everybody on the entire planet, our Liberians that are engaged into political activities or what have you, they all have the clear understanding that Unity Party political leader is Dr. Bakai, who is then expected to vow for the standard bearership of the CPP under the umbrella of Unity Party. So that is clear. Same thing with Cummings. Same thing with our political leader, Madam Kanga. Same thing with Honorable Ure. So all of these people, they're already set at the top of their political party. Why were you, even if the rest of the political party said they're going to endorse Dr. Bakai, that's fine. That should be done during the convention. That should be done during the convention. Because what you have done, what will be the purpose of the convention? If Comey have attended this charade, they call endorsement something. It's a charade, to be honest with you. What will happen? Because of Comey refusal to attend, Comey saved the day.
So the action deployed by these people, are they adding insult to injury to the already problem?
Yes. And they were trying to circumvent the process. And there are many young Liberians, highly educated, connected. They were supporting these kinds of process. They were hoping to have a platform of unity, the collaborating political party convention, where people from outside of Nigeria will watch how democracy works.
Okay, let's see this here. This is the guy. Okay, Amor Ali there. This is the guy who said he could not, they shouldn't put him into an embarrassing situation, but he's helping now to facilitate putting my country into an embarrassing situation. Let's see a little bit. This is what you were talking about. On September 3rd, the National Executive Committee of the Unity Party gathered in this city and we took many decisions as the power vested in us by our constitution. One of those decisions was to reaffirm that Ambassador Joseph Nkrumah Boakai is still the because Ambassador Boakai was elected for 6 years. Another decision that we took there was to endorse him and present him to the CPP, qualifying him to participate in the CPP selection process.
Okay, let's you listen to that part where he said to present him to the CPP. The CPP is a collection of political institution, correct? I believe that's where your argument going.
I accept, yes.
Yes. And so if one of the whole that it is a part, let me move this guy here. I don't know where he went. I don't want to. Let me move here. Okay, he's part of the party. There are 3-4 parties accredited to this accord under the framework collaboration. For now, we don't even know because the conversation is still ongoing. But from all indication, there are 2 that are contesting. But he generalized his statement by presenting this guy as a candidate. And that's what I said. I really need to know whether there is another document besides this document. I need to know. Because what they did, yeah, I'm coming. What they did, they have embedded their own political party constitution or guidelines to that of this framework. And I could be wrong, but if you're coming together as a whole to work for the common goodness or for one objective, I think whatever you have, whatever I have, they must be condensed. And that document that we're going to put together, because we're going to be collaborating, should be the supreme one. But you can't come and you have another, Bible on the side. I have another Bible on the side, and you expect us to collaborate. Go ahead.
Mr. So, look, like I stated before, what is happening is very shameful, I believe. I truly believe. You would think Dr. Boakai would not support this kinds of charade. It is unacceptable. For me, it is unacceptable. In as much as I would see Dr. Boakai having the ticket, it is unacceptable. Because there are people, these people are not serious. ANC, even though I am not a member of ANC, but they have membership and they have structure. It's an organization, it's a party. And for you to say, come and help us endorse your opposition, it's an insult, intellectually insulting the ANC. And this is what I'm not going to stand for. As a liberal, I think this is a foolishness, to be honest with you. I'm using language here, you folks, that I normally don't use because this is just ridiculous.
Are you disappointed?
Yeah, big time. Big time. No, I'm not disappointed because nobody can disappoint me except myself and my God. I'm not disappointed. I'm just a little bit disheartened, to be honest with you. Because, Mr. So, these are people that some of us were counting on to say perhaps if Dr. Boakai comes into power, Liberia then will be moving forward. You have many young Liberians here in the diaspora.
So what's the measurement that even Boakai comes to power, Liberia will be moving forward?
I just told you. And this is what I believe. Yeah, I believe that. The reason I believe that is this. Dr. Boakai has been around. He's very experienced, seasoned politician. And not only that, the fact that he served as a vice president for 12 years, And we all know that he was parked. He wasn't moving. I thought he was going to use this opportunity to show Liberians how a vice president is supposed to be respected.
Okay, then let me hold you right there. Now there's a little bit contradiction here. So you think that you expect there's a big surprise then. Is that a good justification for which he alleged? I don't trust what he's saying. It doesn't make no sense to me that he was packed. Or are you also concerned as a sitting vice president who served a president for 12 consecutive years, right? And the president, the equipment did not lend her support. What could be the reason? Do we need
Mr. So I'm not even going to address that. And here's the reason why. It's past, we're done with. What I thought Dr. Barker would have done in this process is to redeem the vice presidentship. It is to come out to redeem the vice presidency of the Republic of Liberia. For example, if Dr. Barker becomes the standard bearer, and if Honorable Cummings agreed to go second, then he, Dr. Barker, will show to the young Liberians. Let me finish. No, you can't do that. Like I said, I'm not going to allow you to bamboozle me. I'm not here for as a debate with you or whatever you with your conservative view. That's not going to hold here tonight. So let me make my point. Your second far right. Second center right, he's afraid he's not coming on. So let me just have the free time here tonight, please, if you don't mind. The CDC professor is afraid he's not coming on. So let me just enjoy myself. Now, Mr. So, the point that I'm making is this. On a very serious note, Dr. Barker, having been treated so poorly, what by someone Dr. Barker strongly supported for 12 years. And that person turned around, stabbing my view and my word, stabbing in the back. You would think that he would say, you know what? Thank God that I'm here. And thank God that a lot of Liberians see that I can be this. I will use this opportunity to whoever is going to be my vice president to show to young Liberians particularly, that this is how a vice president is supposed to be treated. But for you have not even sitting, getting a position, and then you're going to allow people to crown you king before the bells start ringing. This is ridiculous, and this is not something that I was expecting from Dr. Barker. Now, this praise singer and all the other people, that thing, they don't even faze me. They don't faze me because that's what they do. They sing praises when they're not supposed to. I will be truthful. If something I don't like and I don't see it beneficial to Liberia, I would speak my mind. And this is exactly what I'm doing. That does not mind speaking my mind here tonight, does not negate the fact that I still support Dr. Barker to be the standard bearer of the CPP. But it must be done right, and it must be done with respect for one another.
Was there any respect factor in here? So what becomes of that? Do you think Kumi Cummings can trust them to do business with them again?
Of course. And this is Kumi is winning. They let them sit under their little tank they have over there where they can't even afford to pack the I don't call it platform. Let them sit under that tank, little tank, and the things that they're getting people to support them. What they have done, they've driven away the centers. They've driven away young Liberians who are educated, who believe in democracy. They're driven away many young Liberians who believe in them. With this kind of charade, it is unacceptable.
So, considering all that is unfolding now, the electors, the Liberian people, can we trust the opposition? See what is happening right now. Everybody going head to scatter front on the ruling establishment and the position themselves as alternative. But see what is happening. They can't even manage. They have not even started dividing ministry, agencies of government, autonomous bureaus. They have not even reached that level. And like you read it further said, they are pushing one of their own aside, making decisions in assumption. How can he go back on the table and sit with these people?
Well, that's the point. What they have done. And I'm glad Mr. Cummings has not picked up. You remember what he said? He said, you don't come to these kinds of things and pick, and I'm paraphrasing again, and because you didn't get picked on the football field, he said, I'm picking my ball, I'm going home. He said that. And I'm glad Mr. Kumi is sticking with it. By Mr. Kumi staying here, Mr. Kumi is also putting the Unity Party and the collaborating political party on my political leader, putting them on notice that we're here and we're watching. And this is this is the process that I'm starting right now, to be honest with you. By me coming out and condemning this process, many Liberians that don't like it, they will speak their mind.
George Lobo, and some of these folks that are around Boycott, they all help to facilitate this here. And this is why this is just quite alarming, because they try to retweet or reconstruct the agreement. Now, this is a statement here from the ANC here. I'm just going to read the caption. Very strong wording. And I'm happy that the ANC Secretary General are going to be here on Wednesday for us to have here. Maybe there are other conversations going on behind the scene, but this was after the whole scenario, that fiasco. This was a statement by the ANC, immediate release. Alexander Kumi walks out of CPP political leaders meetings in protest against repeated. So it is now one for sure. It is not twice, but there are multiples. We don't know how many meetings, how many conversations off camera been going on. Repeated violations of the framework agreement. And without still getting the in-depth for Cummings to walk out, it means it was just perhaps over the edge. Why in the first place they allowed that to reach the boiling point?
Mr. So one of the smarter moves Mr. Cummings has done and he continued to do is this. By he just announcing reason, he didn't come in and start spelling out. He didn't see him running from podium to podium, media institution there to complain. He's not doing that. He's putting everybody on notice. If you read that, he didn't say X, Y, Z, D. No. He just said multiple infraction. I'm paraphrasing of the rules. He's not being specific either, which is good. Because this is what our old people say. When you're in the bathroom, most people take by outside anyway with their fence, little fence. So they say when you're in our fence taking by some crazy person come and take your clothes and start running, you jump out of that shower and start running behind that person. They say, all of you're crazy. And this is what Cummings has done. He's keeping himself cool and collected and telling the young people to say, look at this. What do you think? And I think the young people will respond overwhelmingly for coming. Not necessary to support him during the primary or whatever process they're going to come up with, but to say this particular process was unacceptable. And this is exactly what the Liberal Progressive is doing here tonight. It is unacceptable.
The presentation of the Unity Party, first of all, and Mo Ali is correct, because he's elected for a certain time within a certain period of time. Before that, whoever wants to challenge him can do so. Now, here you are, you form a collaboration, things are falling apart, Central could no longer hold. It's already a known fact that he, Boycott, will be the presumptive nominee for the Unity Party. But they didn't realize that they also have all of two political institutions. We don't even know whether your party, Liberty Party, which you have successfully tried to distance yourself, you are America-based, but everything you throw yourself into the conversation, which is also good. I haven't heard any official statement from any of these political institutions, Liberty Party, ALP, aka Amos Joyce, the spoiler, they have not come out. But by virtues of the declaration being made, one could make their educated guess that these people, they are not already in it, and the process is still being played out. They came out. That's what I come here. I'll soon finish. That's what my concern with this whole framework, because I think it should have been the work of a technical team. And these political leaders who have excluded himself, even by allowing themselves to be here, is heading. Now your guy, Joseph Boyka, is running away from responsibility. It is his time. Why he has fired up now, he doesn't want to occupy the positions as chairperson of the CPP and then comes the collaboration, the real heat up, he will be in two places at the same time. And I'm not sure whether he even have that energy or strength to do that.
And now, why will you bring that kinds of comment into this political debate? What strength and energy have to do with it, Mr. So you're trying to reduce it. You're trying to reduce it. The wonderful conversation, Mr. So you're trying to reduce this. No, I'm not going to accept it. You're trying to reduce this conversation to a mere speculation and rumors, and I'm not about to oblige. Now, let me say this, Mr. So what I thought would have happened. What I thought would have happened from Dr. Baka when his turn came to accept this position. First thing is this: you have a meeting with the political leaders themselves, and once the chairmanship is off, if for you to take the gavel, you take the gavel, and then you say, having had the chance to sit in the chairmanship, my brothers and sisters, it is good, but here is what I think we need to do. You guys know my feelings. I, Dr. Baka, strongly seeking to be the standard bearer of the CPP. So I think to give me the opportunity to campaign vigorously without being looked at as being chairman, campaigning for himself, which other people might interpret as being influencing the process. I would prefer to say that Madam Yumley continue with the chairmanship. Why Mr. Kumi and I, because Kumi had made it public, why Mr. Kumi and I continue to campaign with our different constituencies to see who they want to be the CPP standard bearer. This is how you, as an older person in the room, this is how you behave yourself.
No, he's not behaving like an older person.
Yeah, Mr. So I'm just making a comment. I'm making, please don't hold little comment here and there and try to wrap it around my neck here this evening. It's not going to fly. The point here, Mr. So, is this. I thought that's what Dr. Baka would have done, because that would have shown to even Kumi himself to say, I have to follow this old man here. He's our father. Because you need Kumi to be your vice president. Who are you going to carry? They ain't got money. If you ain't got money, Kumi got the money. Well, how they going to go?
Why are you crying money?
No, I'm just putting something. Mr. So, I'm being real. Mr. So, I'm being real.
Okay. Yeah, I know that's the only good side, even though you can sound so very much terrible and ridiculously ridiculous at times, but there's some sort of good authenticity in you. I hear most of them, oh, they're probably using money. Come on. You know how much Michael Bloomberg pumped into Florida during the election? If you don't have money, sit down. The guy is paying you guys bills. You're not making contribution. And you want to sit on his neck and twist his neck and let his neck to get
Mr. So we don't need your commentary. We don't need your LPR commentary into the CPP. Please just ask a question and we'll be happy to answer your question. We don't need your commentary whatsoever.
Yes, because it's not in your favor. So definitely you don't need it. Do you think the Liberian people are happy with the CPP?
Yes. Yes. Because CPP, listen to this. CPP open the door for debate. I'm here tonight, and many of our viewers that follow us know my position with Dr. Baka. Yes, still, I am being critical of the process, including critical about Dr. Baka's involvement in this. This is democracy at its best. CDC can't do it. CDC, you go against them, they pull you down. You're not part of them anymore.
We're not talking about CDC right now.
I'm just telling you something. I'm just telling you something.
Please, is how you can twist conversation.
No, Mr. So you can't divorce yourself out of that. You can't say we're talking Liberian politics but don't call the ruling political party the inept political party, the party that is unable to govern. Please let me have a field day with that.
The Trump order is CDC got their own drama to be liquor talk and all of that is understandable. But the turmoil, the political turmoil that we are having right now is a group that you are part of. And yet, you guys do not want us to talk about it. You profess as if it is okay when it is not okay. You form a collaboration without a strategic plan.
Mr. So, like I said, we do not need your commentary.
It's not a matter. It is my country. Look,
but we're not talking about Liberia. We're talking about CPP. We're not talking about
we're talking
to rule your country right now. Wait till the election time comes,
CPP,
and then you can try.
Joseph Boyka, your man Joseph Boyka is seeking for the higher office of the land.
And he will do better than what you have now.
I see no evidence because the people surrounding.
What do you mean, see no evidence? Look at me. I'm speaking my mind
on
your show.
Yeah, he is. He's sitting down. People around him. He's not even making a decision. You say, yeah. He said, "Order you yourself alluded here."
Oh man!
As an older person, you expected him to make a good, rational judgment. Look, guys, we're not just going to leave this thing with CPP. It is the future of the country. So it's not what I'm a CPP man. I'm not a CPP man. I don't care. It is unless they are not seeking political office, higher office in the land.
Mr. So, I will do my best here tonight to inform you. We do not need your political commentary. We can handle ourselves. And I tell you again,
I'm frightened about this. I'm frightened.
Don't be. We will make sure the country is safe. Honor the leadership of Dr. Boyka. We will make sure the country is safe.
He was there. It was never safe, and there's no.
When he was there, he was parked in the garage, so he couldn't help you.
Is he amputated?
When he was there, not physically, but politically, yes, he was.
Who put him there?
What do you mean? I told you already. The system that was created under Madam Salif.
Is he not part of the system?
No, he wasn't. He wasn't real.
Mr.
So, please wait. This is not about you trying to denigrate my leader here tonight. No. Mr. So, let me just tell you what. Let me tell you this. This you cannot do with CDC. Me as a supporter of Dr. Boyka. Yes, still I'm sitting here as we speak, where millions of people all over the world will be viewing this here later on or even now. But I'm standing here and criticizing, speaking my mind.
You are just minute. I understand. But we have
what do you mean? Mr. So, you can't say that. You don't know my position.
No, I said you are just minute. You just only person. You don't even have a vote. You say you are a Liberty Party person, USA. So they don't even care for you. They're not even listening to you.
That's fine. But I'm speaking, the people are hearing.
You are here to soften the place here for them.
No, nobody is softening. I'm being truthful. I'm being truthful. Now, you can't do this. You got a little bit inks when I talk about CDC. You can't do this kinds of stuff with CDC. If this was CDC, Dr. Weah and Miguel and Samuel Eto'o will lock it up. If you open your mouth, they will fire you from your position. And so you can't say nothing. And this is what CDC will do for you. But here, in this collaborating political party, you heard here of the Honorable Comey said, every one of us has the right.
Why you can't quote Boyka, you always quoting Comey?
Because Boyka has not come on our show yet.
No, but quote some of his words.
Mr. So I don't care about those. I don't care about those conversation. I care about what conversation that I participated in, and
yeah, you see, that's why you're getting choked, because things that you're supposed to care for, you're not caring for them, and that's why you're getting choked. I am Alfonso Ziensot of the Liberia Public Radio and LPR TV. It's right here. The Liberal, that's the Liberal Progressive, is here per Georgia. They send that line here. You guys, you don't want to be honest. You don't want to be honest. And we're going to say it the way it's supposed to be. CPP and the Liberty Party, the Unity Party, ALP is becoming dangerous to the political process in Liberia, trying to change the rules of the game. We're not just going to leave it with CPP. It is about the future of the country, because when the fraudulent acts begin to start right now, that's how they're going to loot our country. And you don't want me to talk about that. You don't want me to talk about that. You see, that's why, you see, you're not correct. So you go off now, go and come back. I'm Alfonso Ziensot of the Liberia Public Radio. Let's take a quick commercial break, and I will be right back.
Welcome to Fabric Queen off of Woodland. Everyone that's looking for a nice African for wedding, whatever fabric you need, you can just come over here. You have all this nice stuff. If you need ashebi, you guys can come over here for baby shower, for wedding. You guys are welcome. She have really nice stuff. You can see all over there, all those men over here. You don't have to go to the theater and then they're going to be telling you all kind of stories. You can just come here. They're already made. And for ladies, you can just look for whatever fabric you're looking for and match it for the men. And, your husband already have shirt made. You can get stuff for your kids. You can get stuff for the whole family. We have African slippers and ashobi hand ties all over. We have different kinds of lists and everything. So you guys are welcome, okay? It's really nice. It's Fabric Queen on 6695 off of Woodland. 6625 Woodland Avenue, okay? So you guys are welcome, 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 welcome. You have nice stuff here for ladies, for men, for kids, and for everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. Fabric Queen of Philadelphia. Fabric Queen of Philadelphia is 100% African-owned business. At Fabric Queen, we are specialized in high quality wax product, Swiss lace, jewelry, and beauty products that will make you shine like the queen of fabrics. We are located at 6625 on Woodland Avenue, 10 Philadelphia. Telephone number 215-800-0228. Tell the management of Fabrics Queens in Philadelphia is easy and salt of the Liberia Public Radio gives you this message. Tell all Akwaba.
All right, that's a beautiful commercial there from some of our sponsors. Just in case, if you want to advertise with us, let us know. Reach us here at Liberia Public Radio, LPR TV. Oh, I still have this moderator here. Okay, that's okay. Let me see what I can edit this here. That was the EULA program here today. They have their own debate. Okay, the Liberal is back. That's what happens if you've been very dishonest and you try to be politically correct. Then your microphone, your whole system can go off on you without even telling you excuse. And that's how. Look, the Liberal.
Mr. So.
Yeah, are you back now? Are you okay?
Yes. I am.
Joseph Boyka were calling you?
No, that has some technical issue.
You don't talk like a baby. You're not a top log.
Mr. So, you're not going to intimidate me. I am here to support, but I'm also going to be truthful and make my point. I am not afraid of speaking up my mind. I'm just telling you. This process, what I've been.
So let me ask you this question: do you think the rest of the three political parties is it a conspiracy because they started this whole thing? The creators are unimaginable. So they look out, they wake up, and they decide to make up thing. Okay, this is what it's been calculated. We're going to have this sort of pledge delegate, and these people are going to vote for this group. The other people will go for this group. Where is the math? What sort of mathematics? Do they know equations? Or do they know how mathematics? Where they come from with that? Was that the document, this framework here? That's what a document, and they created that thing. You guys buy into it.
Mr. So, I told you already, we in the opposition do not need your political commentary. I will continue to remind you.
Yeah, it's about the country. You see,
but that's exactly the point I'm making.
These fair institutions, you believe in them so much than even believing in your country. Okay, joining us now from Atlanta, Georgia, is our senior contributor, Amos George. Unfortunately, your prayer did not fall on it didn't fall on filter soil. So Amos George is here. So I don't know how you're going to deal with it. Let me bring in Mr. George. Mr. George, you think I'm joking with him? Mr. George, are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Good evening, Mr. George. Oh, thank you for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr.
Why are you being so nice? You hurry up to speak to him.
I don't know.
Yeah, and now you know Amos George?
No. Mr. Sue and myself been talking behind scenes, so please.
Yes. That's right.
Mr. George.
Yeah.
I am. Where am I getting audio here? Somebody, something not right here. Where am I getting? Okay. Check your system here.
Yeah.
I think you can wait. Okay. Hopefully it's okay.
Yeah.
All right. It's still there. Look, man. Why are these people here? You know, they say, I want to use this parable. I want to put it in something told dollar, the crown dollar here. Maybe it will be well understood. They began to label this guy here. This is a man who they sponge on this guy, on his money, on his financial resources. They're not paying him, they're not paying their bills. Cummins and the ANC people paying their bills. They're fine with it. And then they come out and say, oh, the man want to use money. If you don't get money, what the hell are you doing in partaking election? You don't even know exactly what they are doing. Now, is it accurate? Is it visible? Seeing what is unfolding now, this is the soundbite they preached a long time, and the little Chihuahua pick up all of these talking points, and that's they are exhibited that. Something told do not want us to talk. I'm not looking at CPP. I'm looking at the country, because these people, they are seeking for the higher office of the land. What they are starting, Mo Ali said, you don't want to put in an embarrassing situation, but he's one of those now that are leading us to put us in an embarrassing situation. Yeah, so let me just get you off the screen here. The Liberal, are you okay?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Okay, let me break in George, Emma Joy. Emma Joy, what the hell going on within the CPP?
Let me say this, and I want to take this time
welcome, sir, in fact, yeah,
to say thank you to somebody who thought of me while I was away. Mr. Prince Double. He was concerned. He did ask a question the last time, where was I? And I want to say to him, thank you for his concern. Mr. Prince Double, if you listen, I want to say thank you to you for your concern. And the APRC formally, we've been talking in the background, so I don't need to mention you people. So, but Mr. Double had a thought of mine to ask the other day, what was I? But Mr. Prince, I just had some family issues, so I had to go and take care of it. So it was not that I intentionally kept away from the program. I love the program so much, so nothing will keep me away from it. But I just wanted to say thank you for your concern. And all of those who did not mention my name, but I know people were there asking. So here's the thing. Mr. So, I told you people that Mr. Benna Ure was one of the troublemakers in the CPP from day one. And people question my motive or why I was saying that.
Which one? The guy with the hand in his pocket?
Yes. And people now can see it's being displayed in the public. But let me say this. Before I come to the CPP, thank God the social media. What you see playing online, it was not going to come out in the public domain if there was no social media. And this is one that has kept Liberia undeveloped today. Nasty and dirty politics in Liberia. I will use the word nasty and dirty politics in Liberia. We're seeing that being played in the public. These are the things that have kept Liberia not being developed. And every time we ask ourselves, why? The CPP got a framework, a document. Get it, what I'm not complete, but they got something that they can work with. Why people are not saying something that is not or was not in the document that it should be put in the document now? Why? Black voting, pledge delegate.
What the heck is that?
You know, Mr. So that's why I'm using this word, nasty and dirty. And they don't like the country. They come up with all these things now. Why? You knew all these things. People sat down and crafted a document. Gave the outline to the public how they want to arrive at selecting a leader of the institution. Why you want to move the goalposts? Now, 2 months or a month and a half to the election to select a standard bearer, why you want to move the goalposts? Why? And so many people who are talking, these are people who say they want to lead Liberia. They want to change Liberia. These are the people. How will you change Liberia when something is not in your favor, then you move the goalposts? When in your favor, you say, okay, it's right here. But if not in your favor, then you're trying to move the goalposts. How can you lead a country? I want some people to sit down. I know these people can hold and follow us. We got nobody to back us. We speak only as an individual. But I want to admonish Liberians to re-examine some of these people's character. That they determine, that they follow, that these are the Messiah to lead the country. Liberia should take a step back and look at these people's character now. You in a collaboration. You pay 1,000 now, which I will call me because I got reliable sources. And if the challenge, I can say, okay, I will bring document of proof. Then I will pay $1,000 US. The United Party is delinquent. Liberal Party is zero.
They're on loan, so what you expect them? They're living on loan. They are not met up with their bills, so how would they pay?
But you want to take leadership of the institution when you cannot meet your financial obligation requirement to that institution. So how are you going to run Liberia? These are the things that Liberia should start looking at instead of individual. Look at your country. Look at your children's future. And I will sound ugly tonight, but we now have to put where the truth belongs.
What is the truth?
Here is the problem. These are problems it's been confronting us now. Madam Yombli Kanga, they had a press conference. 4 political parties. She named Benina Ure, she named Honorable Boakai. She failed to recognize Mr. Cummings. Let it play the tape. Someone was line. Go there.
Yeah, I'll just
play it. I played that over and over to find out maybe my ear or maybe not hearing something. But Madam Yombli Kanga, she mentioned 4 political parties. She named Honorable Boakai, Benina Ure.
Yeah.
Where is Mr. Cummings? You're addressing the press. That is to show you what these people want to take this country to. I'm talking about Liberia. These are some of the issues now we should be asking ourselves. Are these people the rightful people to take this country forward? I said it before. I said that the ANC made a wrong decision to join with these people. They should have stayed alone. And I think my welcome to fruition. Here is the man, the ostracizing, the abusing, but they cannot afford the bills. This man, his institution is the one that's taking the bills. But still you don't want to respect him. You want to sideline him when it comes to decision leadership, you want to sideline him. But you need his money. So all these people, diaspora Liberians who say Honorable Boakai is the right person. Why hadn't they not been raising this money so they can keep all the deal first thing in place? Why? These are the issues that confronting the CPP. And I said it. The way things stands now, Liberia must think twice now and see who is in the interest of this country. Yesterday, clandestinely, when they said they're going to elect a standard bearer.
Okay, let's see here. Let's see here. Let's see what happened here. Mr. George is off. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Okay. Mr. George is off here. Let's see. Okay. Liberal.
Yes, Mr. So.
Okay. Per George went off. Okay, he's back here with us. Let's see here. Okay. Are you there?
Yeah. Yesterday, They said that they want to nominate Honorable Bonka as standard bearer for the CPP. Is that what the framework requires? No. Now, you want to elect the standard bearer. Where were the delegates coming from? Did you have Lofa, Nima, Range, and present in that place? We saw the crowd yesterday. It tell you how dangerous these people are, how eager they are doing things to rot the country again from the Liberian people. And people, let me tell you, people, this thing, the Liberian people, this song you're singing, if people go down this route, it will come back to haunt you people. And when it comes, it will be more than today what people saying. You people must follow the guideline of that CPP. Do not add, do not subtract now. It's too late. Follow it. If Mr. Bonkai becomes the nominee, hallelujah. Whoever becomes the nominee, hallelujah. But do not alter that document because you want to certify somebody. Mr. So, if you think you are popular, you control your political machinery, don't you trust your delegates? Don't you trust your delegates?
No, what they are doing, they want these delegates. Mr. Sampson told you can throw your hand, you can put your hands on your head, you can put your hands on your back. What these people want to do, you know, the danger about this whole thing yet, Mr. George. I mean, it's about my country.
Yeah.
These people want to regulate our lives. They are very dangerous. Dangerous for 21st century democracy. And that's what they want us to think we want to share our money. This is not a CPP affair. I'm not a CPP. I never believed it. I never believed in them before. I knew we were going to end up down this road. Considering the characters, these people, I don't have to look in the Bible to define their identity. Not all of them, fair to mention. Most of them. That's who they are. They can do anything for money, and they are willing to gamble our country to the death just for their own political purposes. They want for people play delegate, blind delegate. People should commit themselves because why? They are broke, they are living on loan, they are unable to pay their bills, so they are afraid that there will be a financial violence. Guess what? Michael Bloomberg spent billions of dollars flushing the airwaves to get his message. So politics is about money. If you can't spend money in the media, you can't advertise, you can't hire people to do your work. You want everybody to be a free work, you're not going to get anything. That's what these people want to do. They want to put us literally on the pole to prematurely kill us, suffocate us, and they will take our country and loot that country. But guess what? We're not just going to leave it with them. We will talk it. We want the process, whether the CDC, CPP, PPC, we want the process of democracy to play out. Follow the game of the rule, go to the primary, test your popularity, see what the rule says, the agreements that were put in place. I'm happy the ANC Secretary General, Councillor Aloysius Toh, going to be here with me on Sunday. The Liberal now is acting as if we are forming a conspiracy against him. So let me make it come. The Liberal, are you there?
And that's exactly what I suspect, and I think it's playing itself. But that's fine. That's fine. I can handle it. Mr. Soul, why I'm here to condemn what has happened. That does not negate the fact that I support Dr. Bakai. You're here saying Dr. Bakai, this person, these are political commentary that we don't need in our collaborating political party. Now, let me say this again. I will say it clearly for both of you to understand. CPP is not going anywhere. We're here to stay, and we will fight this among ourselves. At the end of the day, we will come to one conclusion. And we
must come with clean hands.
United, despite the fact that you want us to fall apart.
No. That's not been my argument.
That's exactly what is happening. Now, let me say this again. I don't agree with the process. after the process was flawed for the entire thing. Now, I'm surprised as my own political leader, the lady that I respect, and
we don't have secret. Can you call your political leaders and not everybody here know
the lady that I respect and
Who
the
is the
lady that
lady?
I admire and the lady that I know
That's
is
what
a
he
very
does.
strong political leader. So, but in this type of situation, I'm not too sure what is happening, what's going on in Liberia. Because if, for example, if you got young, they're gonna miss the mark. There are so many young people, so many young sedition that are disenchanted with CDC and its leadership right now. You have not given these people the platform for them to run to with these kinds of behavior. I don't accept it. I don't accept it because you cannot, as an educated person, to say you have a framework, paper to guide you, to guide your operation, and you're going to deviate from that. And then you're going to say, this is what you want to do. The point that I'm making, I will continue to make this point. Unity Party have the right to do whatever they want to do. But you do not have the right to try to degrade another political party who is part of you. Then you're not sincere. If you can't win this square and fair, you want to win this process through the back door, then you do not belong in the leadership of the Republic of Liberia. Then we should all say Dr. Weah should stay in power because he came to the position through the front door. You cannot come to this position through the back door. It is unacceptable. Yes, another thing here, and I will say again, I would think that Dr. Bakai, having had so much painful suffering, I would say, Mr. So, please, suffering.
It's just not a lot that you people want to elect people out of sympathy.
Mr. So, please let me make my point. You guys, you and the center right spoke for almost 30 minutes. I folded my hand. I didn't interrupt. Let me finish. So, you would think Dr. Bakai would use this opportunity not only to somehow promote the vice presidencies of the Republic of Liberia, but to also use this opportunity to say, these people, this is what I was talking about. Use this opportunity to educate young Liberians to say, this is how the vice presidencies of the Republic of Liberia should be treated, not to put in the garage. You said people put you in the garage. Yeah, you are. You haven't even had the opportunity to be elected, and you're going to sit for the people to crown you. The game hasn't even started. You haven't even warmed up. Now you're celebrating all on the touchline because you think you have won the game. This is unfair, and this is not your character. They're starting to put you in a bubble already, Dr. Bakai. And if you allow them to put you in a bubble, any other person that comes with you as a vice president, whether it be my political leader or whatever, you will put them and you will exercise them. This is what I think you might do. And this is not going to be okay with us. Some of us here believe in you, Dr. Bakai, that you can deliver, that you can save this country, that you are the unifier of this country. But this kind of process does not speak well for your ability to unify. Why will you have somebody who is your opposition to say, come to my crowning, come and witness why I'm being crowned? This is disrespect at the highest level.
Amos Joyce.
Yes.
You listen to Samson told. There are two things I'm coming to you. There are two things that people are being kind of like complete conspiracy. There's almost like a news outlet and a break-by wing here. Okay, they put him in a garage and they do this. So it looks like this election here, instead of looking at productivity, quality, someone who can produce job, someone who has the nation at heart, someone who got a steady hand, someone who can take a decisive decision, someone who will fight corruption till we get to the end. Not someone who was embedded, who swam, who drank in the corruption. Samson Toh here is preaching with his other colleagues, experience. Where is he experiencing corruption or what? And so we should feel sorry for people. They're not looking at quality, they're looking at quantity now. We must give them because somebody claimed that you were parked in the garage, so we should allow them to take the presidency. You remember what Jackson Fiador told Samuel Doe? He said presidency is not a beauty pageant.
Yeah, when those say he had big nose.
Yeah, those say he had big nose. When we elect him, you will go there, you will take surgery, you will take our money.
Yeah.
They are trying to rewrite history. They are trying to restructure it. We experience. They didn't give us the chance. We were demonized. So the question set becomes, is anybody thinking why a person who served a certain president for 12 years, can you imagine Barack Obama in the election turn his wheel on Joe Biden? You know what the impact would have been? But unfortunately, we do not look at issue. This is not a stupid thing that it'll always put up. We go on phone, we go on program, they create some sort of shenanigan. They go on the phone, 10% call for this one, 5% call for the one. Who told them say that how people can do pull the local quality issues, but their own Liberian people, when 10% call here say for Bernard Ure, and 1% call for the other one, they say Bernard Ure is the president. Can you imagine? What kind of people are these?
Yeah, and Liberians are good at rewarding people based on sympathy. That's what we are good for. Chance that they say, oh, let's get them because we want war to come back. President Johnson said it. They say, oh, let's give it to
I have a graduate.
Yes. George Weakin. Oh, they make our contact.
Soccer legend.
Soccer legend got contact. You know this point, that plan. They give it to him. We doing the same thing and getting the same results. I don't want to use the word. We know what it meant. But here's the thing. I get this argument that people continue to make up for the vice president. He has the numbers. Really? What is the data?
Okay, let me put this number on here quick here while we stay here. Thank you so much. Yeah, go ahead.
George Weah, the CDC, was the most popular party next to the United Party in Liberia. Even people say they had numbers. They put a number, they shut down, they said it, the last time they said it. When the general election came, they could now win 40% of the total vote in Liberia. 40%. They now crossed the 40% mark. In 3 years, three-term election, George Weah, the CDC now crossed the 40% mark. Before I say 50 plus 1. They never.
Thank you so much, Vale.
Where is the argument coming from? We Liberians, they must re-examine themselves. This notion that someone being government for the 2 years, for the 3 years, so therefore now the person is fed that you can just give them the country. Why are we continuing to suffer our people? Why are we going to use our people? What is the person, or what has been this person's achievement? What has been the achievement? What today you can point out that you see there, as the result of this person being there, this is what they did. Where is it? Mr. Toh, what is not put in the public? It should be a lesson now for Liberians to sit down and think twice.
Okay. All right. Let me go to this number here quickly here. So like our viewers to participate. Let's know. Okay, let's go there here. Let me go to this number here. There are two numbers here. Let me go to neighboring to Massachusetts and see what the number is. 774 number 7611. Very familiar number. Caller, good evening.
So thank you so much for the show tonight, guys. I hear the deliberations, and Liberian people have to listen. The presidency is not an entitlement. I don't care what you've done in your past life. You must be scrutinized to come to this office. Look, I tell people this. I'm a realist, and I understand what's happening in the country. People say, "Oh, if Liberian people truly want change, We're talking about an expedited change, a change that's been tested through the people. Cummings will provide that change. Honorable Flocka has been in the system very long. Absolutely no original idea. Now, if he can make the argument and the people of Liberia want him, I will support Honorable Flocka in that case. But we have to understand what we're talking about. It's not an entitlement. I don't care how much the presidency is a crucial position. Whoever occupies that space will determine what direction our country heads in. President Weah came to power based on absolutely nothing, but because the men play soccer and we just let it go. We're playing with dangerous things here. We'll continue to go back and hope for the unfortunate we'll go back into somewhere we don't want to go. People have to understand this. This going back and forth is good for Liberia. Let's scrutinize the people. Nobody should feel they're entitled to anything.
Right.
You will be crowned king because you feel like it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Eduardo. Let him go sit down somewhere and be talking stuff here. Let's go to the number here, 267, number 6651. Caller, good evening. What's your name and where you calling from?
Good evening, Mr. Song. Johnny here from New Jersey and going back to here. Listen, man, George, have been this independent person on the show and don't want to take a side. But tonight, by George, things were coming our way because you saw the light very clear. And listen, we must learn how to compete with the Nigerian people. Why we hate competition? We need competition. And like the last caller said, we gotta vet those people very hardly so they can understand that, hey, the presidency is not something for anybody to get jumped on and say, I want to be a president. Your medical record, your public record, your any other record has to be in the public so that we can make an informed decision. Mr. Cummings is playing by the rules. He's willing. They said JMB got the number. Good. If he has the number, prove it at the convention. But at this stage right now, we got 350 delegates each allocated, so each party got 25% of the total number. Let's go to the convention. If you can make the case to the all delegates and the crossover, so be it. But we're not going to sit here and allow black voting. Black voting is undemocratic. It's not a representation of the people. We need to compete. Competition will bring out the best out of those people. Until then, we rest our case. I remain a supportive member of ANC and my political leader, Alexander Benedict Cummings, without any string attached. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Let me go to this number from Minnesota. Minnesota number 612 number 8050 before I go back to my panelists. Call it. What's your name and where you calling from?
Well, this is Elijah calling from Minnesota. Thanks for having me. I listened to all of the panelists and you guys make a very salient point. But one thing you guys were leaving off is that the track record of each candidate from the time this particular or CPP were organized. The first primary the CPP ever hosted in Nema County, it was disrupted by the ANC. I hope you guys take that into consideration.
That's wrong.
The first one. No, go ahead.
It came out. The ANC went and put out a candidate when the CPP already had a candidate. I hope you guys taking that into consideration as well.
It's not true.
Now, what do I call? Tubman spent 27 years at the presidency. How long Willie Tubman was vice president for?
Tell us.
Willie Tubman was vice president for a very long period of time. When he took the presidency, he served very well until he left his mark on the world stage. Today, people know Tubman to be one of the best presidents Liberia, in fact, the best president Liberia ever had. So you becoming vice president and serving as a vice president for 12 years in a corrupt government or government after a bookers agreement that does not judge the vice president.
So what was his decision making? Then what was his decision making? And when he said he was always sitting down by the president and his judgment were being made. So what was his role? He
said he was always sitting by the president.
he proxy the affairs of the country by the president of over 40 different countries he's traveled. He played what roles, both the executive and the first branch of government. So what was his role? He just there? What was his advice to the president?
Yeah, there's my question. We should stop acting like we are not Liberian.
No.
I'm not like those type.
Right now, why is happening between Howard Taylor and the foreign president? What is going on right now? We know we know the implementation of the vice president within the country. We know all of that. So you can't your man because he was vice president for 12 years, and somebody want to judge him. That is completely wrong.
Is that a justification on that? You pack, I'm not in word, you presided over concession. Look, let me tell you, I know about Joseph Boyka. I'm not saying Joseph Boyka is corrupt. That's not my argument here. But when you are a leader, you must be able to take definitive decision. Don't get quiet. Don't be quiet. And at the end of the day, I know this guy said somebody wrote here. I don't usually do that. But people who don't know the story, the dismissal of even Joseph Boyka by the late President Samuel Doe, it was not for corruption. It was an administrative reason. There were cars, there were things that came from the Japanese government, which the president wanted to use his executive power. The president, Boyka, did not succumb to that. And that was one of the reasons. And how this Elias CDB and all of these things came out, that was one of the reasons. That's not what I'm talking about here. But time has evolved. If you're working with a president, and you are a sitting vice president, and you come out here to tell us you're squandered. So is it only the president that squandered the opportunity? He wasn't part of that. He didn't witness the concessions. Was it these agreements? Were they good for the country or bad for the country? What was his own role? What did he tell the Liberian people about that?
The concessions.
No, I'm just trying to name all of these few to give you the opportunity. Yeah.
Some of the concessions were bad for the country and some were good.
On whose watch?
I work doing anything. I work for 3 different companies within the period of the anytime. I work with Hummingbird Resources. I work with Total Liberia, and then I work with BAM International during the early regime. Those are concessions I was trying and I benefited from. You see, but for now, for right now, we just can't find it.
Okay, so my brother, quickly here to give you a fair share before I go back to my guys here. Based on what we know on this framework, I don't want to ask you you want to disclose your political affiliation. It doesn't really matter. I think like bro, and I've said I made my position known. The CDC or the CPP, all of these people, I don't trust them because they are not authentic. They don't want to be honest. There's some sort of hidden games, something not right they are doing, and they are not willing to disclose that. Considering what is happening in the CPP as a Liberian, let's pull out that garment as a Liberian. Is the process. What is the process here? Who you think messing up? Who you think is screwing up? Do you think anybody's tampering with the process? And who is that person?
Come again, you were bringing Jason.
Call out, there's a person on the phone here. Please lower your monitor. We're getting a feedback. Caller, please lower your monitor. I'm asking, as a Liberian, regardless whether whoever you support, you have the right choice to support whoever you want to support. Do you think the process ongoing within the CPP to elect or select their candidate, do you think it's been squared out fairly?
Oh, what happened is that I really haven't gone through the CPP framework when it comes to selecting or stand up there. But I think the United Party endorsed Joseph Boyka as a stand-up bearer. And then another part of the framework that somebody was talking about is that after 6 years, once you are there as a stand-up bearer, after 6 years before you can go for another sitting before they can find another stand-up bearer.
6 years.
So then why are they endorsing Joseph Boyka?
6 years.
So who are you asking it?
I myself have problem with that.
Okay, you two have a problem with that. Thank you. Let me go to the next person. Thank you so much. Okay, let me go to this number here, 862 number 8018. Caller, good evening. What's your name and where you calling from? 862, are you there?
662, yes.
What's your name and where you calling from?
Oh, I'm calling from New Jersey.
New Jersey. Welcome to the show. What's your point?
Yeah, my name is Aaron Mane. We Nigerians should be. I'm not ANC man. I'm not Unity Party man.
Who are you?
But we have to be. We should not act from emotion. I see too much of insult and all thing all over the place against opposition members. I think it's not the right thing to do.
Hmm.
The other thing, my observation is that CPP, particularly the coming, I would, if I had an influence to Comey, Comey should go as a vice president to Waka. The problem in Liberia, if we have to approach from the bottom to top approach, then it's in the legislature. If he really wants, few things that they could work out, make Waka serve as one term. And then when Waka leaves, coming and go, after they have taken care of the institutionalized corruption that within the legislature, which when you serve as vice president, it'd be more appropriate and help the country more than jumping to the presidency. The question of, you can be the coming working other area, but you are not working government. You see, what happening in America right now with Joe Biden, he been in the Senate for long. Why the American people say, well, he been there in government for a long time, so let's push that right, he should not go there. And he's doing well because he knows what the problem is. I mean, the fighting that is taking place, and besides that, Waka has numbers.
What is when you said number, why are you getting
Can we Maryland? You can't win Maryland if you won an election, if you can't win a constituency, we just your county.
No can Waka won the president.
I mean, you become senator. That's the only way you can win the country.
So if Comey he never worked in government, but at the same time, folks also want him to be vice president. Where is he going? Is that in government or public sector? How you reconcile that?
No, I mean the question. What I mean is that if we go in the
Oh, you want us to always be having like a Santa Claus type vice president, right? The vice president position is a ceremonial. The vice president should be equipped as the president in the.
Now you're using the right thing. Everybody blaming Waka say being the vice president. I mean, I was opposed to Ellie. I supported George Weah. And George Weah was he being the Senate, he was a master economic.
So all of y'all help to get us into the all of y'all help to get us into this thing.
He been the private sector for long. So why don't you Waka? Because Waka has a number. Waka will win.
Where is that number coming? Where is the number? Where is the number coming from? Which polling center? Which polling data? Which polling data are you quoting?
Lofa has the highest vote in the country.
So if you win Lofa, you automatically become president of Liberia?
Most of the people that said we have Waka right now for Monserrato, I support him. I ran camping for.
So no, I'm asking. So if one wins Lofa, then you become the president of Liberia. Is that what you're saying?
I mean, probably if you know the person who's speaking to you, you will not be asking the question you're asking me.
What are you talking about?
I mean, Waka won in the second place in the last election.
You're not answering my question.
The statistics that we have at hand.
No, you don't even know the history.
No, I'm not putting. I'm having a conversation. Listen, I'm not putting Comey ahead. I am concerned. You guys, listen. You guys are just coming with selective conclusions to determine the future of our country. I want the process to play out and let the Liberian people have the opportunity.
I'm not reducing the process, but the process is there, the procedures is there. I'm not jump start the procedure, but what I'm saying is that all of us that should be our opinion. They're coming, stay with Waka being around for long. I think he could.
Okay, so let me ask you here before I let you go. Suppose Comey say. Okay, so let me ask you. Suppose Comey say he doesn't want to go with Boyka. Who do you have? If Comey says he doesn't want to go with Boyka, who will you replace?
You don't even know anybody in Liberia.
Wait, what is he talking?
I don't.
You don't know anybody in Liberia?
Address me these people here.
Oh, you don't know Liberia. Why you Liberia?
This guy is a novice. He doesn't know Liberian history.
When I was there. You what? What you said about what? No, what you said? You said as what? You asked when last I was in Liberia? Doesn't matter how long I should tell you when last I was there. You guys are becoming sentimental. You guys are becoming so sentimental, sympathetic into national conversation. And you have gone as low as I could not even imagine for you to have gone that right when last I was in Liberia and you do this. Who cares? I'm talking about my country. We are just going to tell you, I'm asking you a genuine question. You're talking about pool. I'm asking you. What? The question what?
I said the question you asked me is not too elementary.
Elementary. Okay, ask the college question. Let me see. Ask me and then maybe I can answer that.
Thank you.
This is ridiculous. These are the people that are damaging our country. And I just wanted to make you to show yourself, and because most of you just speak off cuff, you don't know something. You asking me when last I was in Liberia. This is I feel bad for the country. People sit and just use imagination and they don't even want to have a conversation. Okay, let me go to this number here too. I can see this number, but it came as Comfort. Are you there?
Yes, I'm calling from Washington, D.C.
Okay, so good evening. So welcome to the show. Make your point quickly, ma'am.
Thank you so much. You see, Mr. So I'm so sorry. Sometimes when I listen to people talk, the electricity rate is so high in our country that people they always drive like they are on a one or gray lane. You know, if you come into a collaboration, you sign documents, you say you're going to go to the primary, that whoever wins, the other three will join this person, they will support this person. So when I hear people talking, this person got a number, this person got a number, I wonder then, why didn't you go alone? Why didn't you go by yourself if you think you have the numbers? You know? And people sitting in America who want to go to that place to get jobs, they are all there. They don't even know the suffering of the people there. And they want to sit in America and make decisions for the people. Oh, we want this person. Oh, we want this person. No, as I speak, I'm not a physician. I don't for any political party, but as I speak, Mr. So, no, those four collaborating political parties, not one of them standing by themselves can defeat the CDC. I bet my head. But from what they are, the way they are behaving, they got us scared. Maybe some of them are just, we feel like they are just there because they want to get in the shoes of these guys that they admire, how they blowing the money off, how they living big time life. So it just kind of, always gets kind of, scary.
Yeah.
What are we heading to?
All right. Well,
seriously, I won't trust them. See a man like Terry Genesis who come on and say, oh, come and say, whoever wins, you will support the person. Come and now say, I will support you financially. So you want to ride on somebody's money to win an election? Is that what you're thinking about? You know? So
All
who
right.
are these guys? We don't know them. They need to be exposed. Let them give us more background about themselves from your maybe from your college life. Let know whether you were straight until you got into government or public sector. When somebody come and say, "Oh, this one never worked in the government," come on, man. Because Donald Trump did not work in any government and he ruled America. Okay?
All right.
So let people look at it from all angles and stop being one-way traffic.
All right.
It hurts. When
Thank-
our people there are suffering of 25 kg bag of rice is $20, and people sitting here and talking all kinds of stuff, it gets on my nerves.
Thank you so much.
Who can
Don't let
do
your
for the
pressure.
country?
Don't let your pressure go out. We can get insurance for that yet.
I mean, what can we do for the country to make things better? If you say this thing is bad, you should have something better. And not the same almost like, okay, I can just pin the apple and put some chocolate on it and gonna do something, or put some chocolate on the strawberry and do something different. No. People need to stop.
Okay, let me go to other few people here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your participation. Let me go to this number here, 203 number here, I believe, from neighboring Connecticut also. 203, are you there?
Thank you, Brother Soul. Thank you so much. They called me before this girl, Brother Soul. Somebody I gotta sit down and just look at people's lives, and it's sad. That man said nothing. The way he was backing wrong about Unity Party in those streets, just like a big time supporter, and it's sad. He's blind. He can't see. You understand? How is it that you would say Unity Party, Joseph Boakai, who served 12 years under their own administration, they said this find an opportunity. Then you come to a collaboration. Instead, you bring a brand new person on board or represent scene of corruption. You don't bring in the front. You bring the same corrupt people from Unity Party and put them back in government. I prefer going with President Weah for 12 years and maybe a President Weah bring somebody here again, go there for another 6 more years. Continue, because these people are not serious. They are not serious. Look at the process. Look at the process they carry on. Now, I don't care how I hear from Mr. Pompeo, CBB, whatever, he has to stay. No, he has to stay because
He calling on WhatsApp. Can you call? Hold on 1 second. 612, call on the regular number, because when I put you on the WhatsApp, all the other people will go off. Go ahead.
And it's another company does not walk away from the collaboration. He got no bearing. Look at the poor people having the how they call it, the tag team. They launched their tag team yesterday. You have Benina Ure, Tilia Ure, all the people were there. Henry Costa, they launched the tag team. We're talking about Israel will carry 310 delegates. If Benina Ure gave a delegate to Boakai still delegate count. That's about 620. What could we get? The Darrell Dillon and the Yumi Kanga get us a photo to the Boakai, who think that nothing. And that's what the whole process is about. So this woman gotta walk away and save his political career.
All right. Thank you, my man. Let me
bunch of criminals.
All right. Thank you so much.
A bunch of criminals that screwing over.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much.
That's why they still looking. That was Genesis say, opportunity support. They will say money and support. Bunch of crooks.
All right, Omer, we gotta leave it there. Let me go to the next person, then I'll go to my guys. Okay, the last two callers here, 612 number 3168. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. So how you doing, sir?
Good. Good evening. Go ahead quickly, buddy.
Yeah.
And then I'll go to the
problem in that CPT is three political parties that join it. I don't think Cummings is a problem. All right. I think the three political parties are afraid of Cummings. Cummings is able to handle the. Cummings does not have a staying record. He's the only man in the party that's playing. So obviously, I think they kind of afraid that Cummings might bribe most of the people that go to support Joseph Boakai. So that is the reason why the contention is there.
Okay.
Because the Joseph Boakai people are afraid that Cummings might bribe his people during the primary. Because what I listen to is that the people are saying, the two political parties are saying that or Alexander Cummings should work with them because he's just coming. So he should work with them, but he should not be vying for political.
So where you coming from? That new man, that stranger. So okay, thank you, Baba. Let me go to the next. All right, thank you. Let me go to the next person here. 612 number 0274, and that we'll come to the 678. Are you there? 0274.
Yeah, I'm here. So
Go ahead quick. Go ahead quickly. Yeah.
In full disclosure, I support the CDC. But just a quick point on Mr. Cummings and Mr. Ure. I think behind this whole thing is Mr. Ure, who is the mastermind. You know, he's using Joseph Boyka as a shield to get closer to power.
How you come to that? How you come to that point?
Well, it's my point, because of course Mr. Ure knows he can't win in terms of political, of voting in a democratic way. So it's only ascension to the presidency is through being the vice president and hopefully some way, somehow obtaining the presidency through Mr. Boyka's, death. He's an old man or maybe a resignation for old age or something like that. But he's isolating the other two political parties, using his influence and his power. People like Costa using him to malign Mr. Cummings, and trying to use his political will and his long-time child days, all of his connection that he has to try to force his way through to get close to Mr. Boyka and put him in that seat.
Okay.
So I think Mr. Cummings was always at a disadvantage when it came to being the president of that nation, simply because so-called outsider come in with a lot of money. Mr. Ure is also jealous because Mr. Cummings is clearly the wealthiest man our country has probably have right now in terms of his Coca-Cola stock holdings right now, and also his salaries from his board of directors that he sit on. So Ure wants to be the top guy, and Cummings coming in, not being part of their cabal and trying to take over. He just can't let it happen. So that's my quick contribution. Thank you for taking my call.
Okay. All right. This is the last call for the night, and now I'll go to my guys. We just want to get the reaction from our folks out there. This number is coming from, I believe, Atlanta, Georgia, 678. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here with the folks. So thank you so much, and thank you for your time and those that have contributed towards the show. The issues of people coming out and making all these claims that somebody has number, right? And I think sometimes to stress some of this point, if we are talking about numbers, right? If we are looking at the 2017 numbers, then we should not go to election. You know why? Don't we had a number then? So
I'ma give it to you, right?
While we contesting, if you're talking about numbers, then John Weah will be the next president. All right. So we should not sit here for people to come and lecture us. And who is there to tell us who to go as a VP? When you have a person in place, right? I want to assure you that ANC will not walk away. We are not walking away from the CPP. Other people will walk away, not us. You know why? Because we are current on our deals. And when you look into the framework, right? The framework agreement, if you have not paid your deals, whoever's in the collaborations that have currently on their deals, they have the right to expel you out of the collaboration. So looking at this, who stands the better chance to pay? It's the ANC. So we are not walking away. And this is about the present, the past, and the future. We have the present right now, which is Joe Weah. The past is Obed Boakai, or sorry to say that, and the future is Mr. Cummings. So if you are looking at Liberia, a better Liberia for all Liberians, this is what we are talking about, okay? We are still other people that have governed our country. We will not sit by to allow the establishment politicians to drag our country. It will not happen.
Thank you so much.
Take it from me. Mr. Cummings will be the next president, whether they like it or not.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, gentlemen. Hello, guys.
Yeah, we're here.
Yeah.
All right. Sometimes it's good to hear from our folks, people that take up their value time to listen. And it's good that we have this conversation in a very civil context, so it will help people to make an informed decision, not to scream, not to yell. So even when people call us when they disagree with them, we allow them to showcase what they have to offer. You heard multiple callers, diverse views, the different observations, opinion, and they have the right to express that is about their country. But one of the key questions here, and yet people to answer, be they the GOL or the opposition. I'm not sure what people are looking at after 2023. What next? That's the key question, because all of these people, they're not even talking about these issues that affect the Liberian people, that will put people food on the table. When you listen to opposition talking drum studio, they talk whatever they want to talk to satisfy their base. You listen to the GOL supporters, everybody playing game and throwing jobs and all of that. I don't think that's what Liberians are opted for or really want to hear. But we want to hear people talking about how they're going to create jobs, how they're going to fix it. If anything is spoiled, how they're going to fix it. The Liberal Progressive, we are already out of time here, but you listen to multiple callers. What are you processing right now?
Well, I tend to take the same line, except they were being some of them were very condescending to Dr. Bakai. Some of the comment was very discouraging for Dr. Bakai. So the language that was used, I'm not comfortable with those type of languages to describe someone who we respect. However, these are things you would say that I've always said on my own show on false error. These are things you expect CDC would do, because they're very known and they're very good at making on false error. And I think the Unity Party and Dr. Bakai has brought himself to public ridicule by this on false error. Because even if all of the political party except for ANC were to endorse Dr. Bakai, what they have done today would not have, if they were to do it or during the proper channel or during the proper time, it still would have been effective, because you're doing it in the context of the framework. You are now endorsing as a political leader, Honorable Senator, my political leader, and Benedict Ure. They have the right to endorse whoever they want to do. They want to endorse, but to make it into a special case, I thought it was on false error that is bringing them to public ridicule. And those who believe that the Unity Party did the right thing, they are fooling themselves. Because what if ANC stay in this collaboration political party, ANC have a winning hand, because there are many people tonight that perhaps are not on this platform, but I don't agree with these kinds of behavior. Those are the kinds of behavior we're trying to eradicate. Those are the kinds of behavior we're trying to get away from. And to have someone who of us respect to propagate these kinds of things, it's unacceptable.
Yeah, before I go to Pat George here, you try to kind of cleverly walk a fine line here, and that's not what I'm going to allow you to slip away here. You, one hand, I agree with something, okay, they have the right to endorse. This is the question, and I'm waiting anxiously when Mr. Aloysius told, and by the way, we have reached out to the other folks about their ANC, they have answered Mr. Aloysius told, who is the Secretary General, going to reach here. We will be looking at much deeper of this here, and I'm interested to know whether there's any other document besides this framework, and what were the mistakes to allow even these head of these political institutions. Supposedly, some of them there are some sort of political ambition for the higher office of the land to find themselves to be the first kingmaker instead of being the last one to come out to say, I'm going to endorse this. So what were the rules they really put in place? What they didn't see that they thought it was just going to be a bread and butter and just going to be like somebody serving peanut butter and jelly. Unfortunately, this is not it. So their own creation is also catching up with them big time. Amos George.
Yeah, before Mr. George, let me just make this point here, please, if you don't mind, Mr. George. Yeah, and that is the framework, the document you just referred to, Mr. So, it is there written by lawyers. Other Liberian lawyers are now clever in terms of writing framework paper to guide. But for example, in fact, there's so much parallel situation with what happened with Bernie Samakai initial court appearance and this one here with Cummings. Cummings' situation for me, I think Cummings believed and trusted these people that they have written a document that perhaps he didn't even need to review because he had people on board. And they all agree on the framework as it's written. Same thing with Bonnie Samika. When he was asked to do a bench trial, or you want a jury trial, he chose bench trial because he believed he was not guilty. And the bench trial, he didn't know that it was going to go that way. This is the same thing. Liberians are always putting themselves in situations that perhaps trusting one another. And we have to. If you don't trust your fellow Liberian, who will you trust? Just to turn around to do these kind of stuff to you. Then they stab you, and then it becomes regrettable to all of us. Then now you wonder, do I need to trust people in Liberia anymore? This is ridiculous. This is the only country we have. But because we're unfaithful to one another, that create these kinds of animosity among ourselves, and we expect to lead. It is impossible.
Okay, I know you're an honest guy. We disagree on a lot of things, and which is okay, but eventually we can get a talking point going before I go to Amos George. Trust is very key, it's very vital in anything that you want to do. Let me put you literally in the positions of Alexander Cummings, and you came up with a fresh, good analysis. Do you think, even if they were to sit around the round table conference here today and say they want to start all over, do you think he's going to empty out? Do you think he's going to that trust will be restored? Do you think his trust then moving forward?
Mr. Saul, one thing I can predict, and I will say this here with clear mind, and that is if they were to call a round table, Kumi, and you have a pie, and they're going to divide it. Kumi pie section of the pie is bigger because he has gained a lot of respect in the intellectual community. To be honest with you, what these people did yesterday, intellectual they were, I don't want to describe it, but intellectually, this was inferior, to be honest with you. So most likely, they seem to be afraid of Mr. Cummings to do what they did. You went into this kinds of stuff.
Who you think driving this force?
I believe Bernard Ure is driving this thing here.
So there's a true confession taking place agreeing with Amos George.
No, I'm not going to go as far as Mr. George calling him troublemaker. It's the two different things. Bernard Ure most likely
he's driving the force. If the force is not a good force,
no, Mr. So I don't agree with it, but that doesn't mean Bernard Ure does not have a standing point. He believes.
Is your guy supporting the force being driven by Bernard Ure?
I'm not who my guy. You mean my political leader? Well, she was out there yesterday endorsing.
Joseph Boyka is your guy.
Well, yeah, but if Joseph Boyka is not able to distance himself from this kinds of stuff, I'm not going to sit here to say yes, he's supporting them one way or the other. Well, it just showed to me that Dr. Boyka need to do more.
Okay, Amos George.
Yeah, let me say this. I wanted to make 2 points of correction. One of your previous callers called in from you are the guy who was talking about Joseph Boyka should be. And let me tell him, let him do his research. Lofa County is not the largest voting black county in Liberia. It's Moserado, Nima, and Bong. Let people go and before you come on so many programs to utter words, do your research.
The man I know one lie I've been to Liberia.
Yeah. Let me tell you now, Lofa County is not the largest county voting black in Liberia. Moserado, Nima, and Bong.
Maybe in 1964.
Well, Lofa is big, but in population, no. So some of them will do the research. And he talked about 6 years, the CCP chairman rotation is not 6 years old, man. It's 8 months. So go back and do your research before you come here to start insulting people, asking people when land was in Liberia. So I know if you listen, go and do your research. Now, let me just say something here. Mr. Boyka, Honorable Boyka, Dr. Boyka, and Pastor Boyka cannot make a decision. He's not a decision maker. And that is troubling for me. Someone who they say he want to be president cannot make a decision. It's troubling for me. Because what I saw transpire this week, it tells me that Boyka cannot make a decision for a country. Knowing what is going on is wrong.
Who making decision for him?
Well, I cannot call him, but I'm saying that he cannot make a decision. See what is going on in Liberia. And he participating. endorsing those kind of ideas, it means that he cannot make a decision for the country. Secondly, and I will always say this, Mr. Ure is the troublemaker in this whole thing. I said it before from day one, I said it, and I will stand by it. His action. And let me go back. The colleague made mention about Nema County. Oh man, it was Mr. Benina Ure. It was agreed that no official, the chairman of each of the political parties would not go up there during the convention.
What is he doing in his pocket?
Oh yeah, that big ball now. So it was Mr. Benina Ure that drove up there during the convention, who went there and suspended a delegate, said that he learned that they had been bribed. It was not the ANC that caused the trouble. So, you know, this is the sympathy of the Liberian people. This is why this is why making this country is not progressing. It's not moving forward. You can elect somebody, but speak the truth. And what Benina Ure went to Nema County, after all the political leaders I agreed that they would not go there. The convention should go ahead. Benina Ure went out there and pour his delegate out of the convention, saying the same allegation that they have been bribed.
Is it the same Bernard Ure that threw that letter out again?
Yes, that's what I think. The last time Benina Ure gave the chairman, normally come out one week. What happened? Why Benina Ure cannot speak about this letter that he said that someone altered the document? Where's Benina Ure today to speak on this issue? And all the Chihuahua that behind that will be back here. Where are they? Why they cannot displace the letter that to say that the document was altered? Why they cannot displace the letter now? Where are they? You see, this is the awkward thing about we Liberians. Many of us don't want to speak the truth. Always sympathy, and you know, we let the man he been 508 years. So he been 508 years. But he's on tape, saying that he did advise the president on every occasion. So if there's a bogus contract, there's an impropriety going on, like, but there's a killing. How can Vice President Booker tell you that he's not part of that? What is going on?
Okay, well, gentlemen, we're going to leave it here for the rest of the evening. The Liberal is not in a pretty good mood this evening. I can see it by the fade of my eye. There's a lot of disappointment, but I know it's very hard to mention. But interestingly, we'll be hosting the ANC Secretary General, and we'll try to go much deeper into it. We are hearing a lot of conversation is ongoing. We don't know exactly how this ball going to land and what's going to be the future of the ANC in this collaboration. Whether they're going to be a second thought in the midst of this whole political turmoil. Unity Party, Samson Tolman, Boyka, and other folks.
Mr. So, before you leave, let me just make this quick point here. We have on the west, we have the Honorable Sir Joseph, who is visiting, and I have the pleasure to be around him yesterday in one of his process of trying to obtain medical supplies for Liberia, and it was fascinating. It was fascinating to see this young man, how he operates among these NGO. It was fascinating, and we were able to do a lot of tapes yesterday. Even spoke with some of the people, the organizer, and we will bring that up. But it was he will be here tomorrow. Hopefully, we will have the opportunity to talk to him if he have the time. If he does, we'll talk to him. If not, then we will just make the show and show you some video of what we did. But there are a lot of good stuff that are coming out of this young man, and people are saying, "Oh, those are just donations." Now I understand. Yeah, people are donating, but if you find out how much Sir Joseph is flipping, if I tell you how much he pays for these things to be transported for transportation alone, Mr. So, that can buy a modern house here in the United States easily. I said buy, and I'm not saying credit. So the money that this young man is paying for Liberians to be benefiting on these medical supplies and things, and some of the supplies that I saw yesterday, modern equipment, and he's talking about trying to strategize to help each facility medical facility in Monrovia, in his county. It's amazing. And I'm not a seditious, but I will be truthful. I will be truthful.
Yeah, but let me ask you. Inside, got a contract with the health ministry, the ambulances.
What do you mean contract?
Ambulance.
To buy ambulance?
To transport ambulance, transport people in Liberia with the ministry of health.
Gentlemen, we're not going to.
No. I don't think he does.
We're not going to work again.
I applaud him for making that effort, but at the same time, there's something more than that.
No, Mr. Josh. Okay. Listen, hold on. I can't let that stay because I was there, Mr. Josh. I was there yesterday. We didn't just go to one outfit. We went to 3 different outfits. And all 3 of these people, they went to Liberia themselves. They themselves went to Liberia. And now, listen, Mr. George. Not only are they giving to Liberia, they give to Ghana, Sierra Leone, Guinea. So you can't say these people have a different system with Mr. Sir, Joseph.
What my here is, you say that this man is spending huge sum of money that can buy a body horse here. But I applaud his idea, I applaud his effort. But I said he has a contract with the Ministry of Health using his company that being hired by government to provide services in Liberia. So money coming in, good. But we're going to dig deeper than that.
Okay. All right. I'm not going to have a much lengthy conversation in essential without talking. He was there. But this is what we're going to do, folks. We're going to, again, our invitation. I spoke with Senator Kangat. We need to give them the fair share, make it proportional, reach the vice president, the former vice president as well. Because I think everybody should be asked fairly and equally. We want to know their decision making when it comes to Liberia. We don't want people, decision is being influenced by outsiders or people that we don't elect. At the end of the day, you will be the elected person. You must be held accountable. So, what his name? The Secretary General of ANC. Hopefully, so we're going to get some pick. Councilor Elisha Stowe will be here Wednesday, right here on LPR. He has confirmed his appearance, and we're going to make that. We're going to throw that out and have a conversation. Until then, the Liberal. Thank you so much, Mr. George. Welcome back, and I hope everything is going well as well. And we will be back here as soon as we get there as usual. This is what we love doing. And to our valuable members, listeners, viewers, your comments, your tweet, as long, even if you were to cause it, it's not, there are so many ways people can be passionate about their country. You can disagree with us, but I think we must soften our tone. We ourselves might be held accountable, just how we want to hold politicians accountable. And you also, the callers, will be held accountable, because when you can't hear you say anything, if I don't even talk about it, I guarantee the Liberal or Pa Joy or Professor Zawo, if he's here, they're going to talk about that. Until then, folks, thank you so much, Mr. Jackson. Thank you so much. He's now with us. Hopefully, in the next subsequent editions, you're going to be here. Until then, gentlemen, have a pleasant Sunday evening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Are you okay, the Liberal?
Not quite.
Wow.
I am a little bit taken aback of what is coming from Liberia, especially from my side, because I thought they were the bigger boys in the room of little kids, CDC. So, but then for them to come and demonstrate what they have done, they just took the sales.
So, yeah, what you can do? Take extra strength Tylenol this evening.
Most likely, I will.
Don't allow your cholesterol, your blood pressure to go up.
We will try not to.
Understand that who they are, that's how they behave, and we wouldn't want to get to that. Thank you so much, guys.
And so let me just leave on this note. I was on Facebook this morning. I saw something.
All right. So it's something, the thing you see, we probably don't want to see it.
Okay.